what's happening with the New Democrats. We're joined this morning in studio by NDP Leader Jagmeet Singh. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Listen, a lot has happened since the last time you and I were sitting here together. We are now fast forward into week 3 of this campaign. So those numbers show that support for your party is dropping, and not just by a little bit. Why do you believe that you're losing support?
Well, one of the things is that I feel polling doesn't really accurately capture New Democrats. Very recently, just a couple months ago, Margaret Stiles and the New Democrats in Ontario were told they were not going to win their own seats, nor were they going to win party status, and they won official opposition. So I think maybe folks have a harder time gauging New Democrat support. But what we do know is this election is important, and all the things that we're proud of as a country in this turmoil with the United States and the fight against Donald Trump, all the things that we're proud of as Canadians happened because people voted for New Democrats, sent us to Ottawa, and we were able to bring in universal health care under Tommy Douglas and old age security and pensions. So all the things that Canadians are very proud of happened because they voted New Democrat. And so people have the power to vote for us again, and we can continue the work we did with dental care and pharmacare and workers' protection. So folks that in this time say, who's going to really stand up for me and my family? New Democrats will do that.
Okay, this is what I wanted to ask you about. You have made historic moves for the NDP. You have brought things forward that the late, great Jack Layton could only dream of. This didn't happen under Tom Mulcair. You brought in dental care. You brought in pharmacare. Why is that not translating into support for the NDP? Why are people going conservative and liberal?
Well, I don't take anything for granted. So just because I was able to fight for people, I don't expect that that translates to people voting for me. But I do think that in an election, I can say, I know that people are hurting and they can't afford to buy their home, or they can't afford to pay their groceries. And so when I promise that I'm going to find ways to bring down the price of groceries or find ways to make homes more affordable, trust me when I say it, because I delivered the biggest expansion of healthcare. Trust me, if you're in Toronto and you want something that's going to help bring down the prices, send me to Ottawa, send my team to Ottawa, and we'll do it.
Right, and I know that you say that this is about, it's not about numbers, but it is about numbers in an election race, right? Like if you're trying to say to Canadians, look what I can do for you, and you've shown them what you can do for them, and they're still not putting their support behind the NDP, why is that? Is it a Donald Trump factor? Is it a Mark Carney factor? Well,
I think there's a lot of things going on. People are certainly worried about Donald Trump, and it's really changed the kind of people's priorities a lot, and people are really worried and afraid of what it means.
But they're still worried about the same things. Cost of living, who's going to lead, housing, who's going to take care of me if I lose my job, like we're seeing in the auto industry.
Yeah, I think Donald Trump has upset a lot of things, like turned things on their head, and people are in a new way more worried than ever about the threats of Donald Trump on Canada. We saw a lot of folks talking about elbows up and fighting back and defending our country. In all of that, I want folks to know, if you want someone that's going to fight for you, not for the CEOs or the billionaires, you know, Mark Carney sadly has shown that he profited off of the housing market. When he was in Brookfield Investments, he and his company said, well, there's lots of buildings where people are paying affordable rent. Let's target those buildings, buy those up, and jack up the rents. I don't think that's someone who's going to actually fix the housing crisis when him and his company benefited off of the housing crisis. And then we saw that he's engaged in a lot of tax avoidance. Brookfield Investments, under his time as the chair of the board, which is a very powerful position, was one of the biggest tax dodgers in our country. And so I'm worried that that's not someone that's going to then close tax loopholes or offshore tax savings. When asked about it, he said, I'm going to cut spending, and wouldn't actually answer the question on whether he would close tax loopholes. And we know that that starves our system of the funding we need for doctors, nurses, frontline healthcare workers.
You used to tell me, and you and I, this is our 3rd election campaign where we have interacted, you used to tell me, Anne-Marie, it doesn't matter, I'm running to be Prime Minister. That message has changed. You have shifted. You're no longer asking Canadians to vote for you to be Prime Minister. You're asking them to be the balance of power in a minority government. So there's 2 scenarios then. A minority Liberal government where we've got NDP support, which sounds a lot like what we had before this election was called, or a Conservative minority. And then how will you work with the Conservatives to move ahead things like national pharmacare?
Well, this is an important question. So for anyone that's wondering where I stand on the Conservatives, I can say very unequivocally, very clearly, New Democrats and myself as leader would never support Pierre Poilievre as Prime Minister, would never support the Conservatives. Their values are the opposite of what we want. They want to cut health care.
So you will not work with them, even if they're the government?
Yeah, it's clear that their priorities are to cut pensions, to cut health care. These are their plans. Like Pierre Poilievre has laid this out. He wants to cut dental care, cut pharmacare. He said it very clearly many times. And so that's not someone I want to work with.
Okay, but then following that logic down the road, why not do what Tom Mulcair had mentioned to Canadian voters, which is put as much support behind the Liberals in order to stop the Conservatives? Well,
we've seen that the Liberals aren't going to do the things that you need. Like, if you look at our history...
They are if you support them.
No, they're not going to do the things that you need unless we're there, unless New Democrats are there. Liberals promised pharmacare for 3 decades. didn't do it until we forced them. They said no to dental care. They said it could never happen. I remember once being in a meeting when we got them to agree to it, and they said it's going to take 7 years to implement. I'm like, no, not 7 years. We got to get it done immediately, and we got it done. And so if you want someone that's going to be there to push for things that people need, like putting a price cap on grocery essentials or banning big corporations from buying up affordable homes, we're the ones that are going to do those things because we've got the convictions of fighting for people. And if you send us to Ottawa, if you vote for us, that's the only way we achieve these things.
What if voters don't send you to Ottawa? Right now, the latest seat projections, Nick Nanos has you at 3 seat projections. The highest I've seen is 5. So you're sitting anywhere 3 to 5. And a reminder to people at home, official party status is 12. If Canadians don't send you to Ottawa with official party status, will you stay on as leader?
Well, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on the election in front of me. Obviously, I'm going to focus on the next 2 weeks and making the case to Canadians that if you want the things that we fought for, if you want someone that's going to fight for you, you have the power to vote for New Democrats and send us to Ottawa. Voting for New Democrats is how we got in dental care. Like, I'm the one as a leader that did it, but I couldn't have done it but for the fact people sent 25 of us, voted for us, and sent us to Ottawa. If they want those things to happen, people can vote for us and we'll do more.
What are your markers for success at the end of this 2 weeks?
I just want to win as many seats as possible so we've got a position where we can get things done for people. That's what I've shown. I've shown that when I have power and when my team has power, throughout our history, New Democrats use our power for people. We bring in things like healthcare. We brought in dental care and pharmacare. I want to use my power to get people what they need.
Are you the right person to continue leading this party?
Yes.
Are you the right person to continue leading this party if they don't hold party status?
I'm the right person to lead this party. Right now, we're in an election, and I'm focused on the election in front of me.
Okay, you've got 2 weeks ahead. It's not over till it's over. Jagmeet Singh, great to have you with us this morning.
So much.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, thank you.
And by the way, I want to thank you for coming in because we have reached out requests to all of the party leaders to be here. You're the only one who's agreed to talk to us at this time.
Well,
we had a tough chat last time, and I'm glad you came back. Thank you.
Of course. I'm not